The first time Jackson Cole laid eyes on her, she was crouched in the middle of his tomato garden, munching on a vine of fruit like it was candy. Her skin was a shimmering shade of opalescent teal, and her eyes, large and feline, sparkled with an unnatural intelligence. At first, he thought she was a hallucination, maybe heat stroke. But the moment she looked at him, head tilting in a way that was both curious and wary, he knew she was real. "Don't shoot," she said in surprisingly good English. "I mean no harm. I require assistance. Fertility cycle is optimal. You are compatible." Jackson blinked. "What?" "My name is Ziria. I am of the Sonari biogeneticists and explorers. Our mission is to catalog genetic viability across species. You are a prime specimen." Jackson opened his mouth, then closed it. The only sound was the soft humming of cicadas. Then he laughed. Because what else does a man do when a glowing alien girl lands in his backyard and asks to breed? "You're serious." Ziria stood up, nearly 6 feet tall and graceful like water poured into humanoid form. "Extremely. The success rate of hybridization with Terran DNA is statistically favorable. I selected you based on genetic markers. You are healthy, creative, mentally stable, mostly. You also live alone, which simplifies the observational phase." He should have walked away. Should have reported her to someone, NASA, the military, hell, even Reddit. But there was something deeply sincere about her. And if Jackson was honest, after 3 years of isolation and heartbreak, part of him craved connection, even if it came in the shape of a teal-skinned alien scientist. So he invited her in. Part 2. Experimental phase. The experiment started innocently enough. Ziria explained her people's need to diversify their gene pools. Interbreeding wasn't sexual in the way humans understood it, more a controlled exchange of cellular material, cultivated in artificial wombs back on her ship. She needed samples: blood, saliva, stem cells, and yes, reproductive material. Over the next few weeks, Jackson agreed to her procedures, fascinated by the alien tech she unpacked in his basement. She built a mini-lab with tools that looked like crystal instruments crossed with surgical tools from the future. Every morning, he'd wake up, give a new sample, and have long, oddly comfortable conversations with her while she synthesized data. "Why me?" he asked one evening as they watched the sunset from his porch. "You passed the psychological filters," she said simply. "You are intelligent but not arrogant. Curious but not reckless. You care about life. You mourn." "Mourn?" She turned to him. "There are boxes in your attic. Old photos. Things that belonged to a woman named Sarah." He looked away. "She was my wife. Died 3 years ago. Cancer." Ziria nodded solemnly. "Your grief shapes you. Makes your genetic output more robust. Sonari believe emotional depth enhances evolutionary outcomes." That night, he dreamt of Sarah, only she had glowing eyes and skin that shimmered like stardust. Part 3. Mutual transformation. By the 3rd month, things changed. Ziria had begun showing signs of what she called cognitive saturation. Human interaction, particularly the kind steeped in empathy and storytelling, affected her neurology. "Your presence is altering me," she said. "Your emotions leave imprints in my mind. I feel dreams." She started asking questions that had nothing to do with genetics. She wanted to understand human music, read Jackson's favorite books, learn why people cried at movies. She'd watch the sky with him, completely still, as if savoring every passing cloud. One rainy evening, she stood at the doorway, watching the downpour. "Water has no memory," she murmured. Jackson joined her, a steaming mug of cocoa in his hands. "But it leaves a mark on everything it touches." She looked at him like he was poetry. And that was when he realized the experiment wasn't about reproduction anymore. Something deeper was blooming. Part 4. Escalation. Trouble arrived in the form of a second Sonari vessel, sleek and silent, hovering above the Treeline one night. Ziria turned pale. "They've come to retrieve me. Isn't that good?" "No. My mission is incomplete. They'll terminate the project. And possibly you." Jackson's heart dropped. "Terminate? You mean kill?" She didn't answer. Instead, she led him to the ship she had hidden beneath a cloaking field in the forest. It was small, just big enough for two. "We can flee. There are places beyond the Kuiper Belt, fringe colonies where Sonari law doesn't reach. You'd leave your people for me?" "I don't know if I'm still one of them," she said softly. "They sent me here to harvest DNA. Found something else. Something unpredictable." They ran that night. The larger vessel chased them for hours through low orbit, but Ziria's piloting skills were extraordinary. They broke through Earth's atmosphere and punched through a jump gate she'd quietly built using parts from Jackson's radio tower and her own tech. For the first time in his life, Jackson left Earth behind. Part 5. A different kind of future. They landed on the Leon, a lush moon orbiting a gas giant in the Exomera system. It was a paradise of bioluminescent forests, floating rivers, and skies that changed color with emotion-sensitive weather. They built a home from alien stone and earth wood, an impossible blend of worlds. Ziria completed the hybrid gestation tank using Jackson's samples, not to create life in the way she was trained, but to preserve a future for both of them. A new kind of future. Months passed. The child, neither fully human nor fully Sonari, began to grow in the artificial womb, a being of two souls and two legacies. Ziria named her Solari, a word that meant born of starlight and sorrow. Ziria's transformation continued. Her physiology slowly adapted to Earth-like conditions she had previously modified in their shelter. Her emotions deepened. Her laughter became human. Her eyes sparkled not just with data but love. Jackson too changed. The grief that once anchored him began to lift. He wrote again, stories, poems, journals. He taught Ziria how to fish, how to dance, how to lose herself in music. In return, she showed him galaxies. They became partners. Not an experiment. Not a subject and scientist. But equals. Co-creators of something extraordinary. Part 6. Epilogue. 5 years later, a Sonari expedition discovered the edge of Thalion's atmosphere and halted. No weapons were drawn. No orders barked. Only silence as they received the transmission sent from a crystal spire at the moon's highest peak. A message from Ziria. In it she explained everything, her choice, her evolution, the child. She didn't beg forgiveness. She simply told the truth. "You sent me to create life," she said. "I found something more powerful. I found a reason to live." The ship remained in orbit for 2 days, then vanished into the stars, leaving the little family in peace. And somewhere, beneath the aurora sky of the Leon, an alien girl and a human man watched their daughter play in a meadow of singing flowers, knowing their story was only just beginning.